Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Just Seen podcast. Real quick, let me just say this: no, I'm not back yet. I'm not back yet, but this is an impromptu that I was trying to hold off on for as long as possible. But I feel like I should be dropping it right now. I feel like it's the time because as I'm writing So for real 3 and putting the final touches on, I'm in the typing phase. The writing is done. I'm in the typing phase, and next of course is the editing and then the publishing. So it's coming real soon. And like I said, I'll be back when I'm back. You feel me? Now I'm gonna be back real soon because I'm getting in that space again. But yeah, so anyway, I'm writing. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of game because y'all the exclusive ones. I got a specific chapter in Sober 3 about the mind, right? And so I was discussing with somebody, like not necessarily the depths of the mind, but they was, asking me what the chapters were, whatever the case may be. I said, I'm not giving off too much information because motherfuckers talk, and this content can't be released until it's released. You know what I'm saying? Got to have my stamp on it first. And so as I'm telling them about the chapter of the mind, so they were like, so basically psychology. I said, no, the mind, not psychology. They was like, well, psychology is the study of the mind. I said, no, psychology is the study of behaviors. The mind is the study of the mind. You feel what I'm saying? It's different. And they were like, well, how's it different? Because your behavior has something to do with your mind. And so I'm basing it off of the context in which I'm creating this information. How the fuck you gonna tell me what the fuck I'm writing about? The fuck? And I ain't even let you read the shit. Anyway, motherfuckers be arrogant, bro, and rude and just everything. But anywho, so I'm like, it's different. Psychology is about your behavior. What I'm talking about is about being. You feel what I'm saying? So I asked them, I said, so let me ask you this then, because, a lot of motherfuckers I know, oh, I'm going to get into psychology, so I can study the mind. All they do is study behaviors. Behavior is, and this is a piece that I'm breaking down in the book, a behavior is a response. It's a lower level frequency, your behavior. You feel what I'm saying? It's not being. A state of being requires a full accessible conscious, full connection to your consciousness, your mind, body, and soul all at one. That's what it is to be. You really stuck on root chakra energy, solar plexus, and sacral energy. It's a different dynamic of what you're stuck in when you just know how to behave. So I sat and I asked them. I said, "Yo, so who?" And I asked them like, "So do you know how to be yourself?" And they were like, yeah, I know how to be myself. I said, do you know how to behave yourself? You feel me? Shit got quiet. It was like, it's a difference. Yeah, it's a difference. And then it got me thinking, how many of us think we're being when we just really behaving? And you know what that led to? A motherfucking impromptu pop up. So that's what we're going to be diving into, the difference between being and behaving. Like we raise children to behave, not to be, And this was, I asked the question on social media before. I was like, ask your kids, take some time to ask your kids who they are and not what they want to be when they grow up. That question has been putting putting us on a hamster wheel since we was babies. You feel what I'm saying? What do you want to be when you grow up? And that changes. You feel me? You experience different things. Your behaviors change. Your patterns change. So you go through different things. So at some point, when are you going to feel fulfilled? You feel me? We never ask the kids or the babies, who are you? Do we not want to know? Do we not give a fuck? You feel what I'm saying? And it comes into a dynamic of when we constantly ask them who they want to be, or, what appeases the adult or whatever the case may be, they operate from a certain behavior that grants the permission or grants them a certain vein of the approval from that authority figure that they view. You feel me? A lot of this stuff is going to be in Soul 3 because look, we got to break the stigma. Like I'm telling y'all, bro, when I end this shit, I'm leaving. Not the earth or anything like that. I'm not going to die, but I'm walking away. I've done my mission. You feel what I'm saying? But before we dive heavy into it, be sure to follow my Instagram at _just_sing_. Wait, is that my shit? Yo, I ain't done this in a long time. All right, hold on. I'm going to try it again. I got to get back to the swing of this. But before we hop into that, follow me on Instagram at _just_sing_. Be sure to check out my website at IamJustSeen.com to get all things that are just seen. Also, I just launched a sunglass line, Center Frames. Go check that out. It's on Instagram at Center Frames, and it's on my website as well. Dang, y'all, I forgot my intro, yo. I did. Oh, IamJustSeen.com. Get all things that are just seen. To all those who tip, sponsor, donate to the podcast, you are greatly appreciated. To all those who would like to tip, donate, sponsor to the podcast, you can do so by clicking the link in the description of your podcast. Not this episode, but the podcast itself. Cash App and PayPal are just fine. And that's that for this, and that's this for that. So when we come back, we're going to hop into impromptu pop-ups, whichever number I'm on, be or behaving. Oh yeah, and don't forget to visit IamJustSeen.com. There you can get all things Just Seen. You want to add the Sofrel series to your library? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to learn how to master the market for serious trading and investing? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You ever want to just chat with Seen about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at IamJustSeen.com. So just take a quick peek into my world and see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it. You will never see it unless you visit IamJustSeen.com. All right. Welcome back. And without further ado, we're going to dive straight into it. So we're discussing be or behaving, like in the states of being or, behavior. What do we operate under? You feel what I'm saying? So like I said, with that question that I was asking the person, because we was talking about the mind and everything like that. And I try to, remain low key about shit, but like motherfuckers don't really know the depths of the shit that I understand and comprehend. And so they think, and the thing about it, the motherfucker got a degree. I got the degree in psychology. Okay, and all you do is study behaviors. That's it. Like you want me to give you, like, I got the degree in biology. That means I understand the mind. No, you understand behaviors. It just happened to be called psychology. It's the field of psychology. It's the mind. It's the study of the mind in relation to behaviors. Everything is behavioral based. Oh, this person acts like this because of this. This person acts like this. You're looking at triggers for behavior. That's it. You're not studying the mind. You don't know the depths of the mind. You don't know the 4 levels of the mind. You don't even talk about the 4 levels of the mind. You feel me? So I was like, yo, this is different. But then I started, like I said, it got me wondering, like, is this the way the system is set up purposely? Because it creates a job, because it makes people function out of a state of behavior versus a state of being. You feel what I'm saying? And, as I'm breaking down pieces of Sofrel 3 and I'm, going into certain dynamics, I'm looking at certain pockets and I'm like, people are just behaviors. Like, motherfuckers are defined by their behaviors. Like, what you do is what you internalize, like, not who you are. You don't do the things you do in light of who you are. And one of the reasons why I'm able to see this off both sides, because I forgot who I was talking to, but I made a statement that I was like, yo, I've only been being myself for the last 6 years, since I was 25 years old. Up until 25, I've had good behavior. You feel what I'm saying? It's one thing when you're still in that space and you've never had an experience outside of that. You feel what I'm saying? So when I say, ask people like, yo, are you being or you behaving? I'm being myself. No, you're behaving yourself. Now, are you behaving yourself well, or are you behaving yourself poorly? Are the decisions of your life a matter of, good behavior or bad behavior? You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, is it you being you, or is it just you behaving yourself? I show up to work on time. I don't get tardies. I don't get written up. You feel what I'm saying? I don't cheat in relationships. You feel what I mean? I give my all to somebody. All of that shit is fucking behaviors, bro. Sis, all y'all. Damn, I ain't said that shit in a long time, yo. Hey, yo, it feel good to be back, y'all. But anyway, but not bad, but just to get this one. Anyway, I digress. I'm just excited. So, what do we do with life? Are we the culmination of our behaviors, or are we the culmination of our being? You feel what I'm saying? And I started to look at it like, why motherfuckers ain't fulfilled in life? Like, at 31 years old, yeah, don't get me wrong. Shit's still rough. I still got to put in work. I still got to do things, but I'm being myself. Like, I'm being me. I'm not behaving. And I realized, yo, People like, yo, how do you say what the fuck you want and do? I'm like, cause I get to be myself. And they're like, I wish I can do shit like that. I can't be myself. You can't. You have to behave yourself because of the connections of the things that you're with. You feel what I'm saying? And being is hard because it requires a level of unapologetic, nonchalant, I don't give a fuckness. You feel what I'm saying? In all capacities. And we never learn how to be. So now, tying this back to the question that I asked, I posed it for social media. I said, take some time to ask your kids who they are. Don't ask them who they want to be when they grow up. Ask them who they are. That's when that shit starts. That's when that shit starts. They always say, think outside the box. Who puts us in the box and what moment do we enter the box? Me personally, this is what I'm going to say, and this is no slight towards parenting or my parent, because I was single parent child, but no slight towards my mother or anything like that. And these are psychological, generational conditions that have been broken down to behave a certain way, not to be, but to behave, and then it made me think, I'm skipping around, but then it made me think of fucking, what's the nigga name? Shakespeare, when he said to be or not to be. That is the question. I never really got that shit until like I'm getting it now. I'm like, to be or not to be. That's a bar. Like that shit transcends time because he wrote that shit whenever he wrote that shit. But it's like to be or not to be. That was in a time in which those words were not synonymous with other thing. It wasn't to behave or not to behave. It was to be or not to be. You feel what I'm saying? So like I said, as kids, we're placed in the box from Jump Street. The moment we're asked, what do we want to be when we grow up? Not even what we want to be, what we have to be right then. So our behavior is contingent upon everything. And because everything is contingent upon behavior, we now operate from a realm of consequence and action. That's it. Behavior is predicated by consequence and action. What do I do that gives a certain consequence or reward? I'm not going to say action. Action that can either lead to a consequence or a reward, punishment or reward. So everything is behavioral based. None of this shit is about being. I don't think anybody that I've known in my life has been themselves. They behave themselves well. And we've done it for so long, we're programmed to think that's who we are. We think we are our behaviors. And like I said, as a kid, I had this innate knowing of who the fuck I was early. I tell the story about, when I was 17 months old, I got ran over by a car. This makes a connection because I had somebody tell me, like, what was a significant trauma that opened you up? Because she was like, the way in which you woke, you feel me, is beyond what a lot of motherfuckers are. She said, to get to the level that you are spiritually, significant trauma had to happen to you. And me and her were able to vibe because we on that same type time of the real shit. We ain't just see some memes and say, yo, get a white man back his religion or shit like that. Like, that's the truth. These are things that I talked about in Soul 3 as well, too. Breaking up the heart chakra and shit. But yeah, I'm gonna give y'all a lot of little tidbits that I put in that motherfucker. But in that, she was like, what was the trauma that opened you up? And as I'm thinking back, I'm like, damn. At first, as I'm going back through, the correlations for the early ages, like for the age closest to where I was at the time when she asked me. So it's like when I think about my heartbreak, I was 21. You feel me? I was like, maybe that. Then I think about having death threats and shit, like motherfucking beefing and some shit when I was like 16, motherfuckers wanted to kill me. Maybe that. Then I thought about the shit with my pops at 11. Maybe that. Thought about drowning at 12. Maybe that. But then I went back to the root. And I got hit by a car. I got ran over when I was 17 months old. So much so that they said the car crushed me and I died. They said they heard my bones crushing under the motherfucker, but I didn't die. So I think back to it. I'm like, maybe I was open the whole time. That near-death experience, but because it was so young, I've been this way. You dig what I'm saying? I've been this way. So I've always known the inner essence of who I was. So I'm saying that to say this. When I used to tell my mom, like, what I wanted to be, I always knew who I was, but didn't know how to articulate it. And here's what I mean by that. I used to always tell my mom I'm going to be a doctor when I grow up. And I'm learning now that because of the words in which the expression was, that I always knew I was going to be a healer. I always knew I have that innate knowing, that deep knowing within myself that I heal people. I have it. I can't. I heal people, and not in the sense of I'm gonna medicate you like doctors do, or in the sense that yo, you can come and unload all your shit. No, I show you how to heal yourself through the healings in the process. Like I'm a real healer. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all been vibing for 138 episodes at this point, so y'all know what's up. But I'm gonna catalyze you into that healing, and I always knew that about myself. Always knew that about myself. So my mom would ask me like, "What you want to be when you grow up?" And I said, "I want to be a doctor." And the reason why I made that connection because I got sick. I think I had strep throat when I was like 4. The shit was bad as fuck. Like that shit was bad. I was like 4 years old. I had strep throat, and when I took deep breaths, it felt like my esophagus was shutting. Like that shit hurt so fucking bad. I was like, imagine a 4-year-old breathing like that. So I'm in the hospital. They got me hooked up to ventilators and shit, but they healed me. I got better. Let me say that. I got better. I'm gonna say they healed me. I got better and shit. So from that moment on, I said I want to be a doctor when I grow up because I thought they healed people. I thought they healed people. I thought they healed people. You feel me? And I always knew I was a healer. And so as I'm growing up, you know, I had to develop the behavior to be the doctor. You feel me? I couldn't just be it. I couldn't be the healer. I had to develop the behavior. And as I told my mom, I want to be a doctor when I grow up. I want to be this. And as I got older, it became more refined, more polished. It was like, okay, it went from just being a vague doctor to being the forensic pathologist. You feel what I'm saying? But over time, it was the behavior that cultivated me into that. The system's designed to promote the behavior to make you something. You know, this is something that I touch on in Soul 3. Do you be, or are you who you really are, or are you who you've become through the behaviors that you have experienced in life, the behaviors that you had to exhibit to achieve a certain thing? So women always be like, men lie. Why we lie for nothing? Everybody lies. Humans lie. It's our behavior. It is the behavior to operate a certain way. Good behavior and bad behavior, they're both lies because you're not being yourself. You're behaving a certain way for the appeasement of others. We're born liars. It's just some people lie bad, some people lie good. But it's all a function of how well we're going to behave. You feel what I'm saying? And so when I realized that there was a clash, I was 24 years old, 23, 24. That's when I got into med school. Let me see, because I turned 24 in med school, so it was 23. As I'm in there, I'm like, this has been my thing as far as why I wanted to be a doctor. I was like, yo, because I want to heal people. So I'm like, I was thinking about cancer. I was thinking about AIDS. I was thinking about all these things. I'm like, yo, there's got to be a way you can cure this shit. There's got to be a way that you can reverse this shit. So I'm thinking maybe if I do forensic pathology, I could find out why they died, reverse that. Then I can help keep people alive. Bing, light bulb went off. Why they got to die for you to do that? You feel me? So as I'm in med school, I'm literally at the table, you know, going over the bodies. Now, this is 2 semesters. I tell my story and I admit my fuck up. First semester, I'm on a beach. I bullshit it. I bullshit you not. Like, I bullshit it. You feel what I'm saying? Second semester, I got on my shit. But, you feel me? My grandmother was killed, like the day I found out my final. So because I fucked up the first semester, I didn't have another semester in the cut. You feel what I'm saying? So I missed, you know, passing everything. But in that time, those 2 months, I'm looking at over 80 bodies because we had 40 in the first semester, 40 in the second, all of them Caucasian. As I'm listening to the doctors, they say melanin is just a waste product. You just call me trash. You feel me? That's the way my mind works when I see deep shit, knowing that I have melanin. So I was like, if you say melanin is nothing but a waste product, has no significance, you just call me trash and say I have no significance because my entire being is melanin. Digress. But anyway, so that's when I first clashed. Who I had become clashed with who I really was. I've learned that we have 2 significant moments when that happens. It's our rebellious teenage phase and it's a midlife crisis. Those 2 moments. And it's crazy how they are things. For behavior, like we think a culture works a certain way, right? But when something unanimously affects everybody, there's a common theme to it. There's no reason why there's a rebellious teenage phase at a particular point all the fucking time. Every teenager has their rebellious phase. And then you go forward. Everybody has a midlife crisis of some sort. Some are grand, some are small, but everybody has a midlife crisis. And I've learned, you feel me, that it is those two instances when your soul, when who you really are clashes with who you've become. Because you realize that you've been behaving all of this time for no rewards. You feel what I'm saying? This is why when we at work, we get mad when we don't get raises. When we get mad when we don't get promotions. We get mad. I'm behaving the way I was supposed to and I didn't get what I wanted. So we ask, like, why are people entitled? Who creates entitlement? Think about that. The behavior creates the entitlement. You damn right. If I'm behaving a certain way and you teach me that action and reward come a certain way, then yes, I should be rewarded for how I'm behaving. You feel what I mean? This is why it's like one of the things that, like, another instance in which I started to pay attention to it when I was in undergrad, when I first started freshman year. Now, mind you, I'm coming out the hood. Like, we just wanted to graduate. Honestly, we didn't even just want to graduate. We wanted to live. Like I said, at 16 years old, I had a motherfucking death threat for like some real beef shit. You feel me? That's when I don't play with beef like on that type time when motherfuckers say, "Oh, we beefing." Are we for real beefing, or are we social media beefing, or are we just, what are we doing here? You feel me? Because I got in a situation when I was in undergrad, like after the girlfriend that I was with, like she cheated with a hood dude or whatever the case may be, and supposedly the story goes that she was like, "Well, he got pregnant because, she said I got pregnant because he said he was gonna kill you if I didn't." And I didn't want you to, like, bitch, don't play with me like that. Like at the time, I'm not calling her bitch at this time, but at the time, like, don't play with me like that, because I'm like, oh, that's what it was. She was like, yeah, but I don't think he's going to do it. That was the second time fucking with her. I got a threat by somebody who was supposedly not about that life. They were just talking for social media. I fucking am. Don't play with me like that. You feel what I'm saying? The first time we broke up, she said, some dude, the first time we broke up, dude said, motherfucking, she posted a status on Facebook and shit. And she said, I just want him back or some shit like that. And dude put a little comment on her shit that said, little star asterisk, and said, click, click, I want him dead. And I was like, I'm reading it. I'm like, how's she gonna respond? So she know this nigga. I don't know this nigga. So she's laughing at it. Telling me, I don't want him dead. I just want him back. This nigga say, well, I want him dead. I come from an area where if a nigga say you dead, that mean you dead. So I politely commented. I'm saying politely. This was threatening like a motherfucker. Like, I commented back, all right, nigga, wherever you see me, make sure you leave me there. And she was like, he was just playing. I don't play like that. I don't play like that. I come from an area where if a motherfucker say you dead, expect to die. Simple. Be strapped or be left where you stand. I've seen it too much. I've heard the tires screech. I've seen that shit. When a nigga say you gonna die, you gonna die. Accept it, but be prepared for it. So that was the first instance. Like I said, second instance was when, shorty, like, I got pregnant because he said he would kill you if I did, and I was saving your life. No, you were saving his and yours, because you already knew what the fuck it was and how I get down. You know my people. You know where I'm from. You feel what I'm saying? So I said, look, if he gonna kill me, make sure he leave me there. You already know how I get down. But you better hope I die. You better hope that I don't live to tell the story. You better hope I don't live, because I'm getting everybody back. You're going to be the last one. And I'm going to make sure I leave you alive so you can suffer through this shit. That was me back in the day. I am still on that type time, but I have not been provoked to do anything like that. But the purpose that I was making with that was that the way in which we have to behave a certain way makes us focus a different perspective of who we are. You feel what I'm saying? So some people know how to behave. Some people know how to be. And when you're being a certain way, it triggers a different essence within you. You dig what I'm saying? So as I'm saying, like, we have these moments where who we truly are breaks out and shows itself as opposed to who we've become. You feel what I'm saying? Our systems, our cultural patterns, all that, they make us become something. They don't make us be. They don't let us be. You feel me? They don't let us be. And so as I analyzed those two moments, the midlife crisis, I had both of them. I had both of them. The rebellious teenage phase. We be looking like, how did a teenager rebel? You dig what I'm saying? How the fuck did a teenager rebel? Teenager didn't rebel. Who they really are poked through the wall. You feel what I'm saying? Who they really are pokes through the fucking wall. You feel me? And we have two instances when that happens. And when those instances happen, it's like, what do you do? Because now your realities are conflicting with each other. Because who you really are does not behave well. It does not behave within the conflict. I'm living proof of that shit. I don't behave in this motherfucker. I don't know how to behave anymore. I don't know how to behave anymore. I know how to be. I've learned how to be. So like I was saying, that's the position that I was in, like up until that's where I was going with that shit. Talking about med school and how I seen the bodies and shit. And yeah, that was a whole tangent. I don't know where the fuck I got off with that shit. But anyway, so that moment happened when I stopped behaving and I started being like that. It clashed. The reason why I told the story as far as the situations with being in school with the people, the threats and everything is because, you can't play like that. I'm taught to behave that if a motherfucker say they're gonna kill you, like I'm not doing the shit for social media shit. I don't do the shit for like, if a motherfucker say they're gonna do something to you, you gotta expect them to do it and be prepared for that shit. You feel what I'm saying? So as I had that clash in med school, I'm like, damn, bro, ain't no black bodies in here. It really ain't no bad bodies in here. And I know this shit done flowed and got different. All this is an impromptu. Sue me. But the floating got, I'm navigating the back. Hopefully the gems are still in here. But I'm like, ain't no black bodies in here. These are all Caucasian bodies. Twice. 80 bodies, 2 semesters. And again, they're telling me about the melanin shit. So I'm looking at like, but I'm a doctor, bro. I was supposed to be a doctor, man. Like, the fuck? This the moment when I woke up. And who I really was obliterated who I had to become. But who I had to become, one of the reasons why, and I think it's by design. I honestly and truly think it's by design. It's a system. I always say this shit. Anything in America, anything that's Caucasian, not so supremacy based, is if it has system behind it, it works. Education system is about making you behave. Motherfuckers really think, oh, I was a good student. No, yes, you were a good student. You behaved fucking well. You feel me? And you got so conditioned and so programmed over the years that you became a good employee. You feel me? The motherfuckers who get promoted, they want nothing but line leaders. They ain't motherfuckers they're just the motherfuckers who used to take names. HR, them the niggas who used to take names in class. Like, you feel me? It's little simple shit like that, but it's certain behavior. Anybody who couldn't conform and fit into the behavior, you got to be taken out. School to prison pipeline is not an accident. Prison is designed for those who don't behave according to how the system wants you to work. You dig what I'm saying? And so I was at that crossroads in med school. 24 years old, 23, 24 years old. It's crazy. I shouldn't have been that young having a midlife crisis, but I was. I fucking was. You feel me? But in having a midlife crisis at such a young age, I didn't have I evolved fast as well. So you feel me? I had that battle. That first battle was my rebellious teenage stage. You feel me? And then, like I said, how do we all have a consensus that at this age, this is going to happen if it's not behavior based? Who's controlling the behavior? You make the behavior work this way because you understand that these two instances, the soul's going to come out and it's going to try to reveal itself. And it's going to be like, bitch, I'm not who the fuck I'm supposed to be right now. All right, bitch, you're going to make me go dormant. And then, they say call it a phase. It lasts for about 2 or 3 years because your soul is like, motherfucker, this ain't me. Stop it. But you become something. You become. It's not even that you adapt. You become. You feel me? So like I said, when that moment hit me, I was like starting to see like the world falling around me. I'm like, the universe is like, yo, bro, this ain't who you are. So you become. That's why it don't work no more. You're slowly coming into who you are and you're accepting it. That was the thing. You're accepting it. So it's like that trauma of losing my grandmother, that again, trauma makes you open up to that other side. But I had already been open, but this opened me, catapulted me to a whole different level. So you feel me? When that happened, it shit stopped. You feel me? I had stopped becoming and started being. And it was different. Like I learned faster. I didn't try to fit into I didn't have to fit into a mold. Like when I look at the behaviors that I had, everything was a matter of behavior. And I can be honest enough to admit, because a lot of people can't do this yet because they think they think they're losing their fucking mind because who they really are is conflicting with who they become because they're so busy trying to make everybody else proud. And there's another reason why when they look at it and say the most honest people are drunk people, children, and elders. I'm going to tell you why children are elders. Children have not been fully boxed in yet. There's no behavior. They don't go in until they get in kindergarten. Kindergarten starts to loop. Bitch, now y'all behave. The fuck? You feel me? The next aspect is, like I said, when you're drunk, alcohol removes your inhibitions. What does the inhibition do other than reveal your true self? A drunk speaks a sober's mind. No, a drunk stops behaving. A drunk stops behaving. You feel me? And then the elders, they no longer have anybody to try to make proud of them. You feel me? Those people are dead. This is why they say what the fuck they want to do. They're not worried about the punishment or getting in trouble for how they're behaving now. Nobody can punish them for behaving a certain way. They're mentally still children in that capacity. So now they talk the shit that they want to talk. They get rude and disrespectful and ruthless because they've always rebelled against that. Like their truer soul always rebelled against who they become. You feel what I'm saying? And we all reached that point. Some of y'all are probably at that point right now. 9 times out of 10, damn near 100%. If you have crossed my path, you at that point. You at that point. And now we putting words to the motherfucker finally to say, this is why you fucking met me. Because you're tired of behaving. You're tired of behaving and you met somebody who was also tired of behaving and now he's being. Just Seen. I be telling people that shit. The reason why it's called Just Seen is because I had to title that shit. I'm not behaving anymore. You feel me? Profane, profundity, the duality of myself, these conceptualizations I put it say, I'm being now. I'm no longer behaving. That's why I say what the fuck I want to say now. If you like it, cool. If you don't, cool. I'm not mad either way. I am being. You don't fuck with it because it fucks with your behavior. You feel me? It fucks with your behavior. But what people don't get is that I have moved beyond behavior and I moved into being, and you're fucking with me for being because you're ready to start being different. You don't have to behave anymore. You do have to behave. You don't get me wrong. Because you know, if you still confined into, I put myself in a position that I'm in so I don't have to behave anymore. See, something that I learned about the rebellious teenage stage is that when I was in the rebellious teenage stage, I had to learn consequence. I had to learn accountability and responsibility. I can't just rebel without a purpose and something that can solidify what the fuck I do. Nobody can take shit from me anymore. Like I don't have to worry about if I say or do this, I can lose a job. Cancel me. Unfollow me. I don't give a fuck. The fuck you gonna do? You feel what I'm saying? But I respect that some people still have that bind to themselves. They have to behave. They have to behave. We've been taught to behave for so fucking long. But like I said, you meeting me now, you tired of behaving. You tired of behaving, but now you're ready to be. You just don't know how yet. You just don't know how yet. And I am in a position where I'm being all the time. Like motherfuckers be like, you know, just the people that follow me on social media is like, well, you'll say this, then you go here, you go here. You'll follow me for one set of behavior. Like people don't get this shit. This is how social media works. Like I'm on the backside of the shit doing social media marketing. We market to behaviors. The fuck? We don't market to the individual person. We market to the behaviors of people because that dictates the person. Then you learn how to, I'm giving all of these gems today. So when you're marketing, you have to appeal to a person's behavior. You can't appeal to a person. You appeal to the person's behavior. That's what you think is psychology. It's not psychology. You're appealing to the behavior. Does your behavior make you do a certain thing? Does a color red make you click here? Does a color yellow make you do this? Like it's shit that entices your behavior. So when you ask somebody, why did you do that? Did you even think? No, I behaved. Nobody thinks. Nobody thinks. They're behaving. We're all behaving well. Some weird, some very good, some very bad. The outcomes of good behavior is college, good jobs. Outcomes of bad behavior is prison, poor decisions, so they say. But it's all rooted in the same shit. Your behavior is what's promoted, not your being. You feel what I'm saying? Not your being. People like, it was always a duality. The teacher be like, yo, how is he so smart, but he's still bad? I wasn't bad. I just didn't follow behavior. I didn't behave. That's it. You feel me? And a lot of people like I said, I don't know if I said this, but I had a little homie one time. He was in one of them classes, right? And they was they was roasting him and shit. It was like, haha, bro, you in them classes and shit. He was like, yo, real shit though. I'm only in the classes because I'm bad, not because I'm stupid. When he said that shit, I stepped back and I was like, he damn sure ain't stupid because he fucking with us, but he is bad. Like behavior. They have, you know how many of our boys and our girls too have been labeled as special ed because of their behavior? Their mind isn't fucked up. They aren't inherently stupid. They're bad. They don't know how to behave. That's it. Their state of being, who they're able to be, conflicts with how they have to behave. Shit don't mix. Being black conflicts with every behavior in the world. People be thinking, why do everybody hate us? Because we can't behave. We're the only people who get to be. And we can't be, and our being conflicts with our behavior. I seen the meme. I see some like code switching is a thing. Like there's certain things there's certain shit that as black people, we have been behaving all of this time, behaving so well that now we have to find a niche that allows our behavior to be safe. Oh, I'm gonna go to college. Okay, get the good education, wear the suit and tie, because this is a behavior that makes them feel comfortable. Black people have to behave in a way that makes people, why do they hate us? Because our being conflicts with the behavior of the world, the reality of the world. If they let us be, they erase themselves. So they have to have us behaving according to what keeps them alive. God damn. Shoot, I've been away for a while and it's much fucking needed. I might take breaks like this more often for a longer period of time. But anywho, our state of being erases what they have conditioned us to behave as. Slavery didn't end with the chains. Like, this is why we got to break the mind physically. You got to break the shackles physically, mentally, and spiritually. The spiritual is the component that makes you behave. Religion makes you behave. It doesn't make you be. People be thinking, oh, I'm a good Christian, and I'm a good Muslim, and I'm a good Buddhist, and I don't give a fuck. You just know how to behave well. And a lot of people are in a position where they're clashing like, bitch, you can't. Like when I be telling people in religions, I be like, yo, you need to listen to this shit. You don't even follow it. So how you going to? Cause this is the behavior you signed up for, nigga. Honor that shit. The fuck? I know I left it alone. I put it down. So I'm not confined to the rules in which I have to behave according to that. Because that binds me. I refuse to believe that I'm supposed to turn it. Like the first rule of nature is self-preservation. I'm going to follow something that teaches me to behave in a certain way that doesn't allow me to preserve myself. Instead, it promotes my own erasure. You feel what I'm saying? Develop a poor mental image of myself. You feel me? Feel like behave in such a way that I'm not worthy for something. You feel what I'm saying? It's all about your behavior. It's not about your being. And that fucks with your soul. So I be telling people all the time, like they be talking about Illuminati and you feel me? Oh, musicians, they sold to the devil and blah, blah, blah. And they did this and this shit. But you've given your soul away by how you behave for free. At least if you're going to put something on your soul, put a price on it. Don't do it for free and then live in poverty and misery for the rest of your life for the exception that I'm going to behave this way because I know the reward is going to be good. No, you're going to recycle back into this motherfucker and do it again because you failed, because you behaved. You didn't be. You behaved. All right. Look. The markets are not a difficult place to understand. All right. You just have to know what you're looking at. And there's 5 things that you need to see before you can make any market entry. First, you need a pocket, so you can know which direction the market is going in. Second, you need a pullback, so you can get the better price. Third, you need a battlefield, so you can see when that market movement is slowing down. Fourth, you need the upper hand, so you can see when the market reactivates. And last, you need a final push, so you can see the exact moment when it's time to go with the direction you are already moving in. Okay? Of course, there's so much more that has to go into that, and it's not as cut and dry as that. But those are things that I teach in my Mastering the Market course. So if you would like to learn more, please visit IamJustSing.com and check out the Mastering the Market course today. Although it is directed and specialized for Forex, all of the skills, I crafted them to be transferable to any market that you're looking at. So again, visit IamJustSing.com and check out the Mastering the Market course today if you are truly looking to master the market. Motherfucker, you behave. I know people right now that are like, bro, now, granted, don't mean just because you're being that you're gonna be absolved of like you gotta understand that. Like I said, this is in my state of being, I learned how to maneuver the game. I learned how to behave just enough to do what I need to do. Like when I tapped in, like I said, it happened when I was 24. So that's when I started to wake up. You know what I'm saying? I went to Philly when I was 25. And for the first time, it's this moment that worked for me because for the first time I was able to be myself. Nobody knew me in Philly when I first moved there, except the people that I followed on social media and shit who had happened to find me and shit over time. But it wasn't that many people. When I moved to Philly, it was just me. When people met me, they met me as me. It wasn't my behavior. And this is why I got out of school. Like I dropped out. Like people didn't get the, like, if I'm in this class, I'm in a class and the motherfucking professor says, I feel like the Black Panther Party is a terrorist organization. I snap. The fuck? Like, no, don't you disrespect my shit. Don't you disrespect my people. The fuck? I don't have to behave anymore. And that started when I was 25 years old. I stopped behaving and didn't know it. I was clashing with motherfuckers. People be thinking, yo, why are you against religion? You just met. No. I don't fuck with it anymore because I understand it. I don't have to. That doesn't have to tell me how to behave. I've had people ask me, well, where you get your morals from if you don't get them from a book? Bitch, I'm a human. The fuck? I get them from nature. I respect everything with life. You behave in such a way that you only respect things that behave how you behave. And you wonder why you can't grow as a person. You wonder why you can't grow as a human. I'm not confined to what I have behaved as. You feel what I mean? This is why I am how I am, because I'm being. Just seeing is not just like, every time I say that, people be thinking, yo, you're so much more than that. I know I'm so much more than that, but I want you to know that it doesn't matter how much more or less I am me, regardless of whatever the comparison is. So when I talk to people and shit, they be like, they base the shit that I say and do off of their behavioral standard. I got a homie, we were just talking the other day, she called me cocky. She's like, you cocky. No, the fuck I'm not. She's basing it off my behavior. Because I asked her, I said, do I be lying? Motherfuckers be like, yo, you arrogant, but you the good arrogant, because you could back it up. Bitch, that ain't arrogant then. The fuck? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, that ain't arrogance. Like, but for when I wasn't calling her a bitch, that was two different dynamics. But so when she called me cocky, I was like, but do I be lying? Have I not shown and proved everything I said I do? See, the problem is I don't behave anymore. Be humble. Humility is a behavior, but humble means to make insignificant. Why do you want me to behave insignificant? Fuck no, I'm great. I'm dope. What fucking, was it Bow Wow? I'm this, I'm that. I'm all of the above. Feel me? Circa 2001, some shit around there. I don't know. But anyway, the purpose that I'm saying with that is that people want you to behave in a way that doesn't exceed their quote unquote morale or behavior. People be thinking, I behave this way and this is the peak. I don't give a fuck what your peak is. Because I behave how I want to behave according to how I be. You bring the bad side out of me, you're going to get the bad side. You're going to get that behavior. I'm light and dark, bro. Light and dark, I take the walk, I cake the walk. It's easy to me. You feel what I'm saying? One thing that I've learned is that people, oh, I don't want my dark side to show. And people don't understand your shadow side is bad behavior. Your light side is good behavior. That's it. You got to find where you get to be in that shit. Motherfuckers ain't been in them motherfucking cells for so long. Like nobody, I have yet in my physical life met anybody who has been themselves. Everybody I'm meeting is at the cusp right now where they at that crisis level where they like, bro, I'm conflicting with who I am. Who I've become doesn't match who I am. What the fuck am I doing? I'm losing my shit. Like, I'm losing my mind. You're not losing your mind. You're losing the mind that was given to you. That box they want you to think out of is because they put you in one through your certain behaviors. You feel me? When you're in school, they telling you, I've heard this. Show me who your 5 friends are and I'll show you where you be. Let's take that. Show me the collective of behaviors that are synonymous with yours. And I can dictate where you're going to go. Again, now let's take it back to social media marketing. Let's take it back to the marketing shit I was talking about. I sell shit to people based off of their behaviors. Show me the behaviors of a motherfucker who's into Forex. Show me the behaviors of a motherfucker who's in developing their masculinity. Show me the behaviors of a person who's looking to go plant-based. And I'm going to go to that person and present something to them. Capitalism works because it works. It's a system. But it's a system designed off of we understand the behaviors of people, because how better to understand behaviors of people if you don't create the behaviors? I'm going to create the behavioral template and let the world do what it's going to do. And we're going to fuck with just the behaviors of the people. Let the behaviors play themselves out and they get what they're going to get. School to prison pipeline works because, okay, we know at some point they're going to have that crisis area. Does who they really are clash with who they've become? Who they really are fuck with their behavior? Mental health? Fuck mental health. Oh, what we're going to do is create therapists. We're not going to tell you how to fix the shit. We're not going to tell you that you've internalized behavior as opposed to accepting being. You've internalized your behavior, my guy. You really think you the bad motherfucker. And then it's like you internalize the behavior that gets you approval, the behavior that gets you a certain way. You think it's cool. Like, you feel me? I didn't inherently want to be a hoe in the ladies, man. It was approved. You feel me? The behavior of a black man, I'm going to put it in perspective because I was a teenager at the time when I started hoeing. The behavior of a black man or a black boy, black male, you feel me, who was attractive, who was handsome, you feel what I'm saying, who grew up in a certain area, he's supposed to behave this way. Initially, I didn't behave that way. I traded Pokemon cards, played with Game Boys, because those were when I got to be. But you feel me? I've learned that somehow there was never that. I always merged the two. I got to be who I was becoming. Hey, right now, you get on motherfucking, I'll make a Dragon Ball Z reference and go drop some motherfucking knowledge that you've never heard before. And it's all valid. It's all me. You dig what I'm saying? It's all right. For me, you feel me? That's my truth. And it's like I'm watching how people just behave a certain way. Like, nigga, I'm supposed to be like, you feel me? I had this dude get mad at me because I had made a post about, when Biden signed the bill and shit, and he signed the bill for trans women to play sports, not trans men. Why? Oh, they just want to compete. I'm not talking about competing. This is erasure, my nigga. Like, you think I thought you won't know. You thought I was going to behave in a way that let you stay on this page. Fuck you. If you got to go. I don't give a fuck. You feel me? That's what, like, people think that they can threaten you with the behavior that you have that doesn't appeal to. I don't care anymore. I'm finally putting words to this shit now. Like, this is the first time I've actually conceptualized this and put it into words to understand why the fuck I move how I move. You feel me? I don't give a fuck who leaves my life. Your behaviors doesn't fit mine. I grow and I develop. Your behavior, I don't know how to behave anymore. I haven't behaved in 6 years. What has it gotten me? You feel me? I day trade. I teach people how to do certain shit. I have courses. I have a whole bunch of shit. I have chatting with scene sessions where I motherfucking help people reach the point of being. I understand that now. You got to break through the behaviors. I know how to do it because I do it. You feel me? Ultimately, this is why it became Just Seen, even why it's a Just Seen podcast, because it's like, don't limit me to a behavior. Don't limit me to the behavior. Like when people be like, yo, you're a forensic biologist. Like, it'd be funny as shit. Motherfuckers be like, yo, you got to trust science. I ain't trusting that shit. And you're not trusting science. You're trusting the behavior of the scientist. Oh, that's how that Milgram experiment works. Look at the Milgram experiment. These motherfuckers literally electrocuting the nigga on the other side, and because the person is saying the behavior of the person has reached a point where your behavior, who you are, is conflicting with the behavior that you're supposed to be. You're supposed to obey people in those positions. These motherfuckers is literally electrocuting this motherfucker. He's screaming, and he's like, yo, just keep going. He's okay. They're like, nigga, my being is literally clashing and saying, dog, he's dying, but you're telling me he's okay? Bzzz, bzzz. I'm gonna keep electrocuting the motherfucker. You told me it was good. You rewarded me for the behavior. You said it was okay. COVID-19, the fucking vaccine. It ain't about trusting science. It's about fucking behaving. Niggas is mad at us who ain't got the vaccine. You feel me? The numbers are going up because of y'all. No, the numbers are going up because of y'all. The variants keep multiplying. You've already given up your immunity. The moment you got the jab, you erased every They didn't tell you that part. The vaccination erases your antibodies. The ones that you may have developed over that year's time because you want to be safe, the ones that your immunity probably developed, you just erased them. And now you're dependent on the jab. And now you have to get the booster every year. Your immune system's trash. But you behaved. You didn't trust science. You trusted the scientist that was presenting the shit to you. So then motherfuckers come to me and shit. What qualifies you? Bitch, I graduated with a bachelor's degree with honors. I behaved well as fuck to get a degree in understanding forensic biology, which covered it covered DNA analysis. And I'm glad I went the forensic biology route because I was torn between going chemistry and biology. But I went the biology route, and I'm glad I did because we studied genetics, we studied DNA analysis, we studied PCR, we studied mRNA, we studied this shit, microbiology, like molecular biology. I know this shit. I talk shit like I ain't, feel me? Because I get to be. I don't have to behave like a forensic biologist. You feel me? I don't have to behave like a day trader. I don't have to behave like an investor. I don't have to behave like any of this shit. I got to be seen and be seen. Bars, man. I got entendres of shit. Yo, I missed y'all, bro, for real. I fucking missed y'all, man. This shit be fun. I miss doing this. You feel me? But this is when I get to be. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not behaving anymore. But you feel what I'm saying? This is how the society works. So now they're like, we're going to shame them into make it. You can't make a motherfucker feel bad when they have ascended to a point where they are being. That shit is for behavioral people. You disappointed me because of your behavior. Like, people pleasing is a thing because you have been taught to behave. You've never been taught to be. Now, like I said, we're going to bring this full circle and tie it back to, like I said, when we're kids. When was the last time you were asked who you are or who you were? Not on no gang shit like, yo, well, who are you from? Yo, who you, nigga? You feel me? State your name, gangster. Not on no shit like that. Not on no shit like that. If some of y'all been through that shit, I know how it go, bro. Like, niggas really want to know who you are, but how many? It's about, and this is why our relationships suffer. This is why our relationships are trash, because we don't know how to be with somebody. We know how to behave with somebody. Man, I'm killing this shit today, bro. This impromptu came at the right time. But we know how to behave in relationships. We don't know how to be with somebody. We know how to behave with somebody. And it's at some point where I don't give a fuck about behaving around you no more. That's when the relationship dies. You feel me? I'm not worried about behaving around you no more. You feel me? The motherfuckers, oh man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. Yes, you did. You didn't mean to get caught. You didn't mean for your behavior to catch up with you. Your behavior has been programmed for this. You feel me? It's reaffirmed through the music, through all of this shit. Behavior is what the quote unquote modern psychology is about. This is why they teach, we're going to study psychology so we can learn behaviors. But do you know the motherfucking mind? Fuck if you know a behavior. Do you know the mind? If you know the mind, you automatically know the behavior. But if you understand the behavior, you understand that behavior is limited to the first level of the mind, which is belief. Let that marinate a little bit. Belief. Again, that's more nuggets that's coming out of Self-Rail 3, but I'm not going to dive heavy into that shit. But the behavior of it all is tied to how well somebody can be. I mean, the behavior is like, it has nothing to do with how you be. I know that doesn't grammatically make sense. It doesn't have anything to do with how you be, but how you behave, how you make somebody feel, or you know what I mean? That's why the motherfuckers end up walking on eggshells. Like I said, I've only been able to be myself for the last 6 years. And the familial structure is different. People be like, yo, I can't build a relationship with him because I'm not a behavior anymore. I'm not be like, people, oh, you're acting strange. I'm not. You've changed. No, I stopped behaving with what appealed to you. When I gave up religion, motherfuckers got mad. You feel me? But the degrees of separation is because they're like, what fucks them up, what fucks a lot of people up about my expression of religion is that how do you know it so well, but you don't behave as if you know it? You don't behave in the way they told me somebody's supposed to behave when they truly know it. You feel me? That's fucking a lot of people up. They'll tell me, oh, yo, you just don't understand it. No, nigga, you don't understand it. You believe in it. I understand it. This is why I don't have to behave according to it. I'm at a whole different level with the shit. You feel me? A whole different level of mind. You feel what I'm saying? You have to behave according to this. You feel me? So then when you ask people like, yo, do you really fear God? Do you really fear Allah? Do you really? No, you fear the consequence of what's going to happen if you don't behave a certain way. You don't get to be. Your religion doesn't make you be anything. It makes you behave a certain way. A way that has you living in fear where you can't be yourself. Everybody telling me, what's your purpose? You'll never find your purpose if you behaving. Let it marinate. You'll never find your motherfucking purpose if you behaving. There is no purpose in behavior. Shit's crazy. This shit is deep. I did not know this podcast had to come out, but these are the things that a lot of people are dealing with. You feel me? And a lot of y'all that listen to me right now, a lot of y'all that are following me on social media, a lot of y'all fucking with me like, yo, something drew me to your page. I don't know what it is. You at that level where you tired of behaving and you ready to start being. And you need to see that it's doable. You need to see that it's doable. You're not in the space of, because everybody like, oh, I'm ready to find my soul tribe. Your soul tribe is a group of beers, bro. It's not a group of behaviors. And now what we do is we find the motherfuckers and we still try to behave. Listen, hear me well. Being and behaving cannot coincide. You got to pick a side. I'm going to tell you this shit right now. As a beer, as a motherfucker who used to be now, you can't do both. I tried it. Like, this is why when I was like, I used to be like, when I woke up and shit, I said, yo, now I'm going to do it from this perspective. I'm going to graduate. I'm going to still go to med school. Now, you can't fix their system from the inside out. You cannot behave and be at the same time. That shit conflicts with you. Like motherfuckers, like teachers be like, black teachers, I love y'all to life because y'all intentions are there, but it's based off of behavior and not being, oh, I want to go in to help the youth because if they see the face and everything like that, you end up still corrupting them even worse because now you look just like them. You feel me? You look just like them. It sounds good to be like, I want to go in and make the change. You can't because you still have to behave within the confines of what the system says you have to behave in order to be successful. Otherwise, they take your money. Otherwise, you lose your job. You lose your resources. They strip you of shit. They can't take shit from me. They can't take nothing from me anymore because I get to be. I don't have to behave anymore. My mama was like, when me and my mama were talking one time, she said, you should still finish med school because that'll give your words more credence. I said, if my words ain't got credence to a motherfucker, they ain't supposed to hear them. People will listen to you more, take you more serious. And this is when it got to professionalism. We was talking about professionalism. And I always ask people, a professional, what is it? People think professionalism is behavior. Oh, he's so professional because he got a suit. No, I'm a professional by skill set. Not by behavior. Most motherfuckers is professional by, like, this is how scamming works. This is how niggas get scammed right here. I'm going to show you how scamming works. They present themselves with a behavior that you buy into. You don't buy into my behavior. You buy into my being. You feel me? One of my students, right? And my master in the market course has a different traction. People be like, I think Forex is a scam. Okay. I was in the MLM. I was in IM Academy, IL Academy, whatever the case may be. They didn't teach me nothing. They just took my money and everything like that. You got to take a chance. It is what it is, but I'm not behaving. My goal is not like, and that's when I started to realize You feel me? I'm not about to entice you. I'm going to educate you. The fuck? I'm not about to behave a certain way. I can say what the fuck I want to say, how I want to say it, how I need to say it. And I've learned that. I had to break that. You feel me? A lot of us in the crossroads. Hell, I'm still in that crossroads a little bit now because I get shadow banned. Like literally, social media shadow ban certain posts that I make because of who I'm trying to get to. Like I gotta be myself, so I gotta associate myself with the people that can fuck with my being, but I gotta behave a certain way. You can't say certain shit like this. You can't say black this. You can't say that. Like there's certain shit I have to behave a certain way, so I have to navigate between that shit. You know how difficult that is? The algorithm is designed to make me behave a certain way in order to be successful on the shit. I gotta break the algorithm. I do, bitch. Fuck with me. But anyway, the purpose that I was saying with that is that for those who are here, you got to pick a side. You're at that crossroads now. You're not losing your fucking mind. You're not at that point now. You have to, like I said, you can't do both. Not for long anyway. You got to play both sides of the field until you can segue and pick a choice what you're going to do. That midlife crisis, well, the rebellious teen, the first time we have it, when do we have it? This shit is by design. Why do you think it's just so coincidental that, by 18, that's when you're legally an adult and the shit happens. Your teenage rebellion phase happens between what, 14 to 16? Then it fizzles out because you reach a point where I just got to behave because I can't do nothing. When you accept that you got to behave in order to get to that point, like how many, like there's no reason. Like I grew up in a black household, black community, my peoples, my community, my culture. I've heard this from multiple. I've even said it myself. I've heard this from multiple. I can't wait till I turn 18. Then you turn 18 and don't go nowhere. What happened? What happened? The being fizzled out because you said, okay, you know what? I'm going to bide my time. I'm going to go back to behaving just enough until I'm gone. Then you behave and it programmed you again. You got reprogrammed into the behavior. You feel me? Let me just do this so this motherfucker don't trip. Let me just move this way so this motherfucker don't do this. That's where you at. You feel me? The midlife crisis is so much harder to break because now you locked into a job. You got kids. You got a spouse. You got motherfuckers depending on you. You behaved a certain way. Hell, a lot of motherfuckers be married to a motherfucker they was behaving for. They can't behave no more. They be like, why when you cheat, it's always somebody at work or somebody else? Because that person aligns with who I'm being, not who I've become, not who I have to behave with. You feel me? Nobody knows how to be anymore. Everybody knows how to behave and they know how to behave well. Some people know how to behave for longer periods of time. You feel me? Women stop behaving, bro. That's niggas, motherfuckers be like, yo, why are you always fucking with women and the women just don't come at you sideways? Because they know recognize real. They recognize the being, not the behavior. They recognize the being and not the behavior, and they got the respect for the being. I don't be trying to be behaving for motherfuckers. Not anymore. If I'm gonna get your number, I'm gonna get your number how I am. You feel me? If we're going to connect, I'm not about to play. If I can't be myself around you, your family and shit like that, we're not going to have a relationship. I don't even play like that. That might be why I'm single right now, because the women that want me every time we talk, oh, my family does it. There ain't no point in me being around you because I'm not about to tiptoe. I'm not about to tiptoe, but I'm not about to take you away from your family either. You feel me? Now, if you want to do your thing, it's like, yo, my family knows how I am. They know I talk my shit. Like my brother, they know. My sister, like, and for me, that's the only ones that matter. Because when my mama gone, it's just gonna be me and them two. My cousins, my siblings and shit, I love them to life, but they don't matter as far as the grand scheme of who I got to be. Because my nephews, my nieces, like I gotta fuck with them. I gotta connect with them. At the end of the day, they have to be comfortable. When I first woke up, I remember when I gave the religion up and everything. I went to my best friends from undergrad. And I said, y'all, I can't fuck with it no more. I said, they were like, bruh. And this is when I realized that they've been my friends because of how we get to be, not our behaviors. Because I was always wondering, like, yo, we ain't nothing. A lot of us ain't nothing alike. I'm like, but we were friends not for our behaviors. That's why our friendships are still strong and it's still standing. We were never friends because of our behaviors. We were friends because we were being friends. This is why, trying to stir the pot. This is why y'all don't be friends when y'all come back from Miami. Them behaviors get exposed. Oh shit! I have yet to meet women who have went on a girl's trip and did not come back crazy as fucked up because you guys have been behaving for so long. Y'all ain't been friends. Y'all were behavioral friends. Y'all had similar behaviors and you thought you were friends. Didn't have the same goals, didn't have the same ambitions, but your behaviors aligned so well. You said, we might as well be cool. We'll click up. We'll be like, you feel what I'm saying? They've been programming us with this shit since we was kids, bro. Since we was motherfucking kids. Behaviors. You let your behavior be who you are. You let your behavior predicate and dictate who the fuck you are and what the fuck you do in this world. You don't get to be. And like I said, when you had that midlife crisis, shit crazy. Millennials, a lot of us had our midlife crisis in our 20s and 30s, bro. We like, nigga, I can't do this shit no more. Like, what the fuck is it? But then we torn. Because we done put in so much work, we think motherfuckers gonna be, oh, we ain't gonna be proud. Like, I think what makes it easier for me to do it is that me and my siblings are significantly far apart in age. I was trying to figure out a simpler word to say that. What, like, I'm the youngest, and we're at least 5 years apart, 5 and 7 years apart. You know, for me and them and shit. And so I didn't have the luxury of growing up with them. Well, I grew up with them, but like at some point we stopped playing, and I was by myself. You feel me? My pops wasn't there, by myself again. You feel what I'm saying? My mama had to work 2 and 3 jobs and go to school just to make sure we was good. So, you feel me? My brother ultimately played, quote unquote, father role. Sister ultimately played mama role. You feel me? In light of when, you know what I'm saying, when my mama was gone. So it's like, it's just me at the end of the day. You feel me? When I went to school, like me and my sister was in school for 1 year together. I was in kindergarten. She was in the 5th grade. The fuck? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Elementary school by myself, middle school by myself, high school by myself, college by myself. Everything that I've done, I've been alone. So I never had to seek I never strived to have the approval of people. You dig what I'm saying? And I never operated from the state of behavior. Well, I did. But it was conceptual. It was conceptualized, conceptualized within the confines of, I always knew that I just had to be this way to make the next move. So behavior for me was always merged with my being. And I'm saying that to say this, like, that's the point that I drifted off on way back when that I never got to. Okay, so in undergrad, when I was like, we had to do the portfolios and shit, and the teacher was like, yo, put awards and shit, like things you got A's on. So I was like, man, I threw that shit away. She was like, why? I said, because the fuck you supposed to do? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I said, so my thing was, when she broke it down, she said, no, never throw away your awards and your accomplishments. You could make a portfolio out of them. She said, you're an A student. I know you have a lot. I said, I do. I just don't keep them. You're like, well, I said, because that's what I was supposed to be doing. At that time, I did not even know what I was talking about. I didn't know that I was saying, yo, the behavior, like, they teach you to be rewarded for behavior. You sit in a system that rewards you for behavior. And the more you rewarded for that behavior, the better it is. People are like, oh, the 9 to 5 pays you to give up your dreams. No, it don't. It rewards you for your behavior. Some people are good at behaving. Some people only want to behave. Some people don't want to be. Being is hard. I'm going to let that shit be known right fucking now. Being is hard when you first start being, because you're torn in that duality. I got to be according to the behavior. I don't give a fuck about behavior no more. When I got to behave, I don't talk. When I got to behave, people be like, oh, I don't behave anymore. You do. You feel me? You do. Like my familial line. You feel me? My mom and my sister both majored in psychology. Trust me, I know about behaviors. Like, that's all they hard. Try to psychoanalyze you and shit. But I'm like, you psychoanalyzing my behavior, not my being. You don't know my being. So I can behave how I want to, just to get you to leave me the fuck alone. But I reached a point now where I don't behave anymore. And the people around me, like that phrase that says, those who matter don't mind and those who mind don't matter. That's real shit. When you are in a state where you're no longer behaving, bruh, I always know when my homies want to break through some shit, or when my homies, like, they always come meet Ray. What you think about this? Because they know Ray is not going to tell you how to behave. He's going to tell you how to be. You feel me? They know me as Ray, but you feel me? Ray Ray and shit. Y'all know me as Scene. Scene is an evolved point. Scene is the culmination of when I got to be. Ray Ray was too, but he was very, very volatile and young and on some other shit. But Scene is the more refined, polished version of me. So that's what I, and it flows so fucking well. But anyway, it's the metaphor. The purpose of that is like, I don't behave anymore. You feel me? I remember when I was on social media and shit, and I was in my woke phase on Instagram. My name was Nasut Racine. Like Nasut means king, and I was on that Kemet shit. You feel me? Because I wasn't on the Kemet shit from the behaving aspect. I really fuck with the information. This is why I can apply everything. You feel me? Because for me, it ain't never been about behaving. It's been about being, and I had to transition to that. So, but it was like people would confine me. Like this is why I tell people, don't deify me, because you put me in this space by my behavior. So you think. And you, motherfucker, be like, yo, I'm waiting on the shoe to drop. It ain't, bitch. I'm not behaving. I don't give a fuck about that shoe. Oh, shit. I don't give a fuck about that shoe, my guy. You feel me? I'm done behaving for motherfuckers. I'm not a fucking circus show. The fuck? I'm not Shamu. You feel me? You're not going to put me in SeaWorld and still call me an orca. Bitch, come to the ocean. This is where I'm going to be at. I'm in the ocean. Catch me if you can. You feel me? So that's where I feel we at. I really feel like that's where we at with people. And a lot of y'all, if you have been able to listen to this episode right now, if you're listening to this episode right now, this is for your ass. This is for your ass. Go ahead and hit my DM. If you follow me on Instagram, whatever the case may be, this right here is for your ass. You are at that phase, and you can tell me that you are. You can validate it. I know when you know how to be, you tap into yourself. When you tap into your divine self, when you know what shit happens for you. You know what shit is supposed to be. I know why y'all here. I know every person that enters my life. I know why every person exits my life. I know everything about everything because I'm tapped in like that. This ain't no to say I'm no psychic. And like when people enter my space, I know what they're there for. I know where to compartmentalize them for. I know where to put them. You feel me? Most people that are entering my space, they are entering it because they're at the cusp of the difference between being and becoming. Being and behaving. They're like, man, I'm done with it. Like, and most of it's always the same shit. Yo, religion's bullshit, but what do I do? Study it. What? You telling me to go deeper into it? Yep. Everybody else is saying walk away from it. Why are you saying go back into it? Because I've been in it and I know how to be in it. You got to study it. You feel me? I stopped behaving. Shit. Like if you got to behave, you don't get to be. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. Like that's really what the reality is. When you have to behave, you don't get to be. So when I ask people, who are you? They give me their behaviors. They give me their behavior. They give me the internalized behaviors. This shit right here, like I said, when Software 3 drops, I'm ending the game. I'm breaking down so much shit. There's like, you can't. I was telling one of my homies, after Software 3, the only thing you're going to say is I didn't understand it. You're not going to be able to say it was right, wrong, high, low. Yo, I just didn't comprehend it. That's it. Like, because I'm going to show you the levels of separation. I'm going to show motherfuckers where I really am. For real. You feel me? And then why I can still come down and act like, oh my gosh, how you still still down to earth, man. People be like, you woke, but you don't be acting like it because I don't have to. I get to be. I'm not behaving. I don't behave like a conscious motherfucker. That's what conscious motherfuckers do. I don't behave anymore. Hear me well. I don't behave anymore. I be that. You feel me? When you get to a state of being, trust me, you'll stop behaving. And when you stop behaving, you'll gravitate where you can be. When you can move into where you can be, your money will come. Your flow will come. Take your time to make your transition out. I didn't just retire at 28 because I wanted to. I didn't just leave corporate America and workforce because I didn't, it was a snap of my fingers. I plan to transition from behaving into becoming. From behaving into being. I did that shit. I put in the work. This shit it wasn't easy, but yeah, you're going to have that process. The longer, it's a mental thing. You have to transition and change your whole self. You got to start seeing everything that created your behaviors. That like, because everything that you are right now is just a culmination of your behaviors. It's how well you behaved to achieve the quote unquote success that you have. That's not achievement, bro. Sis, all y'all. That's not accomplishment. That's reward for being. That's reward for behaving. Pete, Simone Biles, she's not behaving in the Olympics. She's being in the Olympics. And now they're trying to fuck with her scores. You're that good that we can't rate you that good because it makes everybody else look that bad. This is like when I was in high school or elementary school, middle school, when I used to get a good grade on a test and everybody else failed it. I fucked up the curve. Because of Simone Biles, they can't curve the shit anymore. You feel what I'm saying? They can't curve it. Like when teachers used to say, yo, we're going to have to do a curve. What'd you make? I made a 97. Damn. We can't bump it up that much because you fucked up the curve. I know. I didn't fuck up the curve. They should have been paying attention. It's so many motherfuckers who have gone through school just trying to behave. Never being. And don't forget to take a moment to go get your exclusive merchandise from Just Scenes merch. At Just Scenes, each piece is specifically crafted with positive imagery and symbolism. From the titles and designs to the descriptions, each style gives you something to feel great about. With everything from hoodies and tees to coffee mugs and tote bags, we have something for the entire family. So be sure to get yours today. Find us on Instagram at Just Scenes merch and get your merchandise right now. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up there, man. I'm back down. Sorry, I'm not really back. I just want to do this impromptu because it was very necessary. Something I had to get off my chest, something I had to get off my spirit because it's like a lot of y'all are in that cuss right now. A lot of y'all are behaving. And you feel me? This is why, like, when COVID hit, motherfuckers was cooped up in the house with motherfuckers they had to behave with. It's one thing, like, I think personally in the day, motherfuckers only have a 8-hour behavioral cap, period. As black people, I know we do. You feel what I'm saying? This is why we go to work. You feel me? This is why motherfuckers drink wine when they get off. Motherfuckers have to relax. Because the stress that we are incurring is based off of the behavior that we no longer want to embody. I can't continue to behave in this environment anymore. Why you think you got to change your job every 3 years? You feel me? Y'all don't pay me enough for this shit. You don't pay me enough to behave this way. Let's keep it a hundo. You don't pay me enough to, like, as kids, we don't really have incentives. Immediate ones. You feel me? Oh, you give me some good grades in school, then, like, I remember, again, this is no disrespect towards my mother, because I understand our circumstance. I understand our circumstance well. You feel me? We grew up in poverty. She was a single mother. You feel what I'm saying? So her thing was to get us, better in school. I was a natural student already because I was just there. So she was like, for every A you get, I'm going to give you $5. For every for every A you get, I'm going to give you $10. For every B you get, I'm going to give you $5. Shit. That was a whole fucking bill when she was through with my ass. Didn't have it again the next semester, but I ain't think about it. But you feel what I'm saying? Then you got 3 kids that got to do it. Shit. But see, as I watched it, the behavior changed. You feel me? Like, being in school, I noticed that everything that I experienced was a matter of something that was shaping my behavior, how I was going to behave, not how I was going to be. You feel me? So when motherfuckers say shit like, yo, take me as I am. No, it's take me as my behavior. What is your behavior? Change that shit. I can't. It's a habit. It's this, that, and the third. Oh, it's so hard. It's just who I am. It's not who you are. It's how you got comfortable behaving. This has gotten you praise. This is why it's like they be saying, oh, you're fat. Like this whole new cancel culture shit. Like you can't say shit about shit without a motherfucker saying shit about shit. Like they be like, oh, if you do this, then you wrong. You feel me? Ladies, don't let a man fat shame you. Ladies, don't let a man body shame you. Hey, look, I got asked one time. This girl asked me, this woman asked me. She said, would you ever date a big girl? I said, no. That's shallow. It's not shallow. My behavior, my lifestyle doesn't support obesity. It just don't. Like, I'm not an obese person. I have yet to gain much weight. I've been pretty much relatively on a curve. Like, I don't break 175 pounds. I don't. I'm a nectomorph. I know my body. I'm not like, my behavior does not allow for this. So somebody can't come into my space and change that. You feel what I'm saying? But I understand that about myself. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, well, what if you used to like, no, she would lose weight. Her body would have to change. Well, what if it just, and I understand mesomorphs. I understand endomorphs. Our bodies don't align then. Who we are doesn't align. Therefore, our behaviors don't align. People want to force their behavioral patterns on another motherfucker. Nah, I think, damn, now that I think about it, this is why I'm single now. This is why I'm single. And I've always said this shit. I said, all I want is for a woman to be able to be herself. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of people here, and they don't know, when they hear that, they don't know what they have been internalized to process, behave herself. Oh, she's going to be a good woman. She's going to submit. She's going to this, that, and the third. I don't need a behaving woman. I need a woman who gets to be. Damn. There's my epiphany for the fucking day. And all I've been running into is women who behave themselves. Damn. They be like, yo, you are what you are. And I realized that people say, yo, you would attract what you are. No, you attract what you are, or you attract what's supposed to become to you. Like I said, there's three types of relationships that you run into. Two types. No, three, I said it right. Those you're supposed to elevate from, those you're supposed to elevate to, and those you're supposed to elevate with. A lot of the women that enter my space, we're supposed to elevate with each other. I know that. They don't know that because I'm in a state of being. They're in a state of behaving. They're like, I want to be free like that too. I know you do, baby. That's why you fucking with the king. Tighten up, baby. But nah, your behavior, your social structure won't allow you to behave, won't allow you to be, because you have to behave. Every woman that I've met in the past 6 years had the potential to work with me, had the potential to be with me, but I was being with them. They were behaving with me. The behavior can only get them so far. You feel what I mean? Relationships, behavior is only going to get you so far because it's contingent upon the circumstances in which you're in. You feel me? How we had to behave in undergrad, high school sweethearts. How we had to behave in high school means that we cannot go outside of the world to elevate beyond high school, or we change. College sweethearts, we cannot elevate outside of the world of college, or we change. Entrepreneurship, we cannot, you feel what I'm saying? Your behavioral pattern has to be matched and continually sustained by that. This is why it's like when they meet, what binds people and connects them? Like if they meet in college or they meet in different lifestyles, their religion connects them. Because now we're going to codify against a certain set of beliefs, certain set of behaviors. That even though I grew up in the hood, even though you grew up in this family and all of this like that, the religion brings us together as the last hope. That's what controls our behavior. This makes our behavior the same. You feel what I'm saying? In regards to that. And if we can fuck with that behavior, like I transcended that, I left it alone. I don't behave anymore. So if you want to fuck with me, you can't behave. Everybody around me wants to be in a space where they don't have to behave anymore. But I'm not in a space where, and this is the quandary, because like I said, a lot of women that I have met, they want to release themselves from behaving, but they don't want to be. So this is why you see motherfuckers, I'm embracing sexuality, and they just start hoeing, start fucking random niggas and shit for nothing. You're just behaving a different way. You're not being yourself. You're behaving you're not being yourself. You're behaving in opposition to what you become. No, let me say that again. Yeah, I said it right the first time, but I'm going to say it a different way. You're not being yourself. You're not, quote unquote, embracing your sexuality. You're behaving in opposition to how you've always behaved. It's that simple. You went from being, I'm going to be the modest one, and I still got dogged out. Let me go be the hoe then. And you still going to get dogged out. It don't matter. Because who you are at the core cannot behave in either of those dynamics. You feel me? Celibacy wasn't hard for me because it was no longer a point of behaving. I don't have to behave like I'm getting pussy. I don't have to behave like I want pussy all the time. I didn't. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, As the kid, the ladies, man, when I was young, I had to be fucking something. Women, you feel me? You're not like, what? You're not fucking? Nah. Something like, you feel me? Something must be wrong with you. Like this whole thing that's going on now, or if you over 30, a man over 30 with no girlfriend, a single man over 30, single black man who's over 30 with no kids is a red flag. How am I a red flag? Because the behaviors that we have been programmed with have shown you that by this age, you're supposed to be doing this, that, and the third. My state of being means I'm not having no motherfucking babies until I can be a father. I can't behave like a father. Because what happens when I can no longer behave? No, I had to be, I always say this shit. You got to be something before you can become it. So I had to be a father before I became a father. I had to be a husband before I became a husband. I had to be a good man before I became a good man. There was a time when I only behaved to this motherfucker. That's draining. That's draining as fuck. Behaving like that. Oh man, I gotta resist temptation. Oh, that bitch bad. Like, I should fuck her and this, that, and the third. My girl ain't gonna find out because she gonna know. That's behavior. I don't think like that because my state of being is no longer aligned with that shit. I don't behave anymore. So it's a red flag when your behavior is that way, not when you in state of being. I grew up in poverty. I'm no longer behaving. I'm not about to behave like I didn't come from poverty. I'm going to be as if I left it. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not going to be like, that's the thing. Motherfuckers like, yo, poverty stricken minds, they just behave as if they got the money. I'm not going to, I'm going to have it. I'm going to be wealthy. I'm going to be in these positions. I'm not going to behave like it. That's why y'all be failing, because you don't know how to transition from behavior to being. It's different. You dig what I'm saying? It's different. You got to pull up to the scene with the ceiling missing. Feel me? But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try to end it up there and wrap it up there because I don't want it to go on too long. This is just an impromptu. But yeah, ask yourself, have you been being or behaving? And are you at that cusp right fucking now where you're stuck between, damn, and you looking at the world like, why the fuck won't let motherfuckers let me be great? They will let you be great. They just won't let you behave. You have to accept your being and then make them adjust to whatever behavior comes out of your being. If they can't fuck with you no more, guess what? They can't fuck with you no more. The issue is that you don't want to not be fucked with. You don't want to have that moment where you're not fucked with. I've had that moment, that quote unquote dark night of the soul where you're lonely and you feel like you're in isolation. But think about this. I found y'all motherfuckers. That's how you find your soul tribe. Soul tribe is not behaving. Soul tribe is the group of beers. The group of motherfuckers who want to be, not the group of motherfuckers who's conformed. Like my soul tribe, if when you look at my soul tribe and you look at quote unquote friends that I grew up, like shit's not the same. Motherfuckers can't fit in my soul tribe. Motherfuckers that I behaved with, that I behaved for, and you know what I'm saying? They can't fit in my soul tribe. But my soul tribe can definitely fit around them. And you know what I'm saying? Look at the behavior differently because we know how to be. That's all this is about. So you got to ask yourself, are you being, or are you behaving? And have you reached that point where you at the cusp where you can't behave anymore? Or you're tired of behaving and you're ready to be? You got to make sure you have that exit plan. And you got to make sure you can deal with all that comes with it. My family, they don't fuck with me like that no more. You feel me? But like I said, the only family that mattered to me was my brother and my sister. They accept me well. They fuck with me heavy. You feel me? I come around, we start, crack a joke about a religion or some shit. Like I was talking to I could send my sister and my brother some shit and they be like, yo, how'd you sleep like Jesus during slavery? They know. You feel me? My brother would tell like motherfuckers are like, because his in-laws are like very religious. And they be like, I want to talk to your brother about it. He was like, y'all better leave him alone. He said he gonna make y'all look real stupid when it's all said and done. And he said he only look out for me and my sisters. He said he don't care about nobody else. He said he gonna give anybody the smoke that want it. And that's really what it is. I don't behave anymore. Like, because that's a lie. That's living a lie. I stopped living a lie. When I realized how you open up the throat chakra for real. You feel them? No. Is it the throat? Yeah, the throat is lies. Blocked by lies. Lies are behaviors. You feel me? I talk about that in the Soul 3 too. I'm telling you, when this shit come out, bruh, I will have done my mission. I will have done what I was supposed to do for the world. You feel me? Yeah, it's gonna be directed towards men, but sisters, y'all know y'all can get the gems out of the shit. All you gotta do is switch the polarity. Masculinity, the opposite of that. I put everything in duality so you can really see what it is. But yeah, man. Yeah, this is where we at. Being or behaving. At this point, you got a choice. Now you've been exposed to the shit. And now you gotta realize some of y'all gonna really sit and be like, damn, I have been behaving my whole fucking life. That's why you exhausted. That's why you exhausted. Dead ass, like, I lost my hair on my scalp. You feel what I'm saying? Because I've been behaving for so long. I stopped, honestly and truly, no bullshit. I stopped aging when I started being. I mean, of course, I can't get my hair back, but I don't age anymore. Like, this shit is different. Like, I was looking at myself and I was like, bruh. I mean, granted, I can tell, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people be asking, like, how old are you? I mean, I'm 30. You ain't no 31. I'm fucking 31, bitch. Like, the fuck? Why you think I got a bald head? The fuck? You feel what I'm saying? But I'm not aging. I'm not aging anymore. Because who I really am doesn't age. Who I gotta be, who I gotta behave as, that motherfucker ages. That motherfucker ages rapidly. You feel what I'm saying? I stopped being, learn how to behave. I mean, I stopped behaving and learn how to be. That was the defining moment in my life. And in that, now people are like, yo, how do you, I just had a sister hit me up the other day. She was like, she listened to my podcast for the first time. She said, how do you do all of this stuff with the consistency and everything? I said it's the schedules and shit like that, but it's like, I don't have to behave within the confines of the shit. So whenever I do something, I'm able to feel it and just be it. I don't like, I'm no longer have to behave a certain way. So like when I make content for my Master in the Market course, this is what I feel like doing. This is what I feel like giving. I'm not behaving for y'all to fuck with me. No, I'm going to give y'all what the fuck I be. You feel what I'm saying? My frames, my like, that's what those are the extensions of myself. Like I just came up with another design that I want to drop called the solar flares. Like them shit, like everything is about the light. So that's my thing because I get to be. You feel me? But you got to behave. Oh, let me make what everybody else is going to like. No. I stopped doing that. I really stopped doing that shit, bro. Sis, all y'all. And you at the cusp where you want to stop doing it too. Just don't stop doing it right now. Transition. It's a segue that has to happen. You feel me? Trust me, you're going to lose a lot of people. You're going to gain a lot of people too. You feel me? The biggest thing that I noticed, the hindrance is not wanting to lose your parents because you feel like you are. I lost my mama. I already lost my daddy. I ain't never had my daddy, so that really didn't give a fuck. I ain't really give a fuck. But I lost my mama. My behavior clashed with everything that she raised me as. But what we had to come to terms with was the fact that you didn't raise me to be myself. You raised me to behave a certain way. I can't behave that way anymore. That's where our clash was. And now we had to rebuild a relationship, not off of how I had to behave, but how I get to be. It's still difficult. It's still hard. It's still different. It's still like, damn, I got to be this way. You're seeing me be. And it'd be like, well, sometimes we had those moments where we don't talk. Why we don't talk? Because I don't have the energy or the attention to behave how you think I should. You feel what I'm saying? I made my transition and shit at 25. Like, me and my mama started linking back up as far as conversational piece over the last 3 years. This is a 3-year pocket in which she's had, like, I'm technically a 3-year-old to her. You feel what I'm saying? Where she has to get to know me again. Because I behaved a certain way in which created the illusion for her that this is who I was. And she's starting to see that, dang, there were signs that you were this, that, and the third. She's like, a writer. She said, used to write. Like, my mama didn't hear my first bit of music until I was 23 years old. I had been doing it since I was 12 because that did not align with the behavior that she approved of. You feel me? It didn't align with, like, but that was me. I'm a writer, bro. Like, you feel me? I'm a speaker. You feel me? I'm a thinker. I study. There's certain things that I can't speak to her about because they go beyond what the behavior is supposed to be. You feel what I'm saying? She gets it by proxy. Like, when my aunties and uncles want to talk to me about some shit, she's in the room and I roast them and I look at her like, I want to say this stuff to you, but I respect you actually. I love you as my mother. Not that I disrespect them in that way, but like I said, growing up with my family was just my mama, my brother, and my sister. That's all I had. That's all I had. That's all I'm gonna have. Everybody else was obsolete. You feel me? I was damn near a teenager when I met mostly everybody else. So you don't matter to me. You feel what I'm saying? I don't have to behave for you. You feel me? So I've learned these little aspects and these little nuggets and these little intricacies. And I'm seeing that a lot of y'all are there now. I'm just listening to the conversation that y'all had. Y'all tired of behaving. Y'all are tired of behaving. Y'all are ready to be. And now we looking at the world, the veil being broken on it. Like, motherfuckers that ain't getting vaccinated, they don't want to behave. They don't give a fuck. You know, you just be obedient. Just take this trial clinical test that we're giving to you. We don't know what the fuck is about to happen, but believe us. Behave how we taught you how to behave. You're fucking up. Nah, nigga. Fuck y'all. But for y'all at the cusp, I fuck with y'all. Y'all know I fuck with y'all, and that's why I'm here. That's why we here. You feel me? Yeah. I ain't got shit else to say about that. This was a good impromptu be versus behaving. It was the first. I got to get back in the swing of these. Y'all gonna get a couple more impromptu just so I can get the rhythm again before season 6 comes back. But yeah, this is where we at. Take a moment to ask yourself, because I know you there. If you listen to this, trust me, you there. Because you subscribe to the podcast. Your soul is just waiting on this episode. I put money on it. Go ahead and let me know when you listen to it and shit. But yeah, that's that. I ain't got shit else to say about that. Yeah, I got work to do because I'm typing and shit. But go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And going forward, take a moment. Just literally, seriously, take a moment to ask your children, nephews, nieces who they are. Don't ask them what they want to be when they grow up, but ask them who they are. Start to cultivate that. Let them behave according to who they are. Watch how free they are. Watch how they're able to do the things that they're supposed to do in life. But when they're trying to behave according to a way that doesn't get them yelled at, doesn't get them whooped, doesn't get them put on punishment, doesn't get their Xbox, their PlayStations taken away from them, doesn't get their restrictions taken away, watch how well they thrive. A lot of us live in a state of perpetual fear because we behave well. We don't know how to be. Let's not kill our babies in that. We're living proof that we're tired of doing this shit. We're just the first ones to really want to admit it. Our babies are going to be that same way. Their babies are going to be that same way. If you're going to break the cycle, break the cycle. We got a lot of cycles to break. And one of them is the differentiation between behaving and being. Let your babies be. You feel me? Let your babies be. But, it's on you to understand how to teach them how to be in accordance with behavior. I'm not just saying because some people got badass fucking kids because the kids don't know how to be. The kids just know how to be in opposition. They know how to behave in opposition to structure. That's it. Your child ain't bad. Their behavior is in opposition to structure. You let them because can't nobody tell my child nothing. Your child still don't know how to be. To know how to move with the rhythm and the flows of what the society and what the culture is doing, what certain things are doing. Know when to speak, know when to be quiet, know when to do certain things. That is a state of being. You got to master that shit. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. So kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And I'm going to see y'all all on the next one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.